get stuck on poetry analysis during exam? Keep on watching. And I'm Vida. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 steps to analyze exam poem. And I will take this poem as an example, the Damka. Step 1. Background information. Check the biographic information on the author and date of publication. And the title. The title may introduce theme or tone. In this case, a damka is a type of song with strongly contrasting parts, which means contrasting parts may play an important role of revealing the theme. So let's look at an example. At stanza 1, they sit alone together. And in the first stanza, their hands are in their laps. But at the end of the poem, he lifted her hand as it were the last unbroken leaf, and he would hold her hand in his hand for a long time, and they will look far out into the music of their lives. So this contrast, the change of the action, means the love between them is as strong as ever. This is part of the theme. So step 2, paraphrase. First, you have to analyze the sentence structure to identify subject, verb, and object. And then make sure you know every pronoun that they are referred. 3. Unfold the meaning of metaphor, simile, diction, image, symbol, and illusion. 4. Analyze the tone through diction. So let's look at this part. You can pause the video and read this part. So this is the main clause, and this is the subordinate clause. This living, we have to identify the subject of living. Who live? So they. His parents leave profiles of children on pillows. And also we look at this part, something like to vanish. So the dust storms began, drenched, and vanished. You have to identify the subject of these verbs. Then you know the meaning of the sentence. And there's a simile. So you have to unfold the meaning of the simile. So we can look at the sentence. The dust storms of the 30s. We look at the footnote 30s. The Great Depression of the 1930s was a time of financial hardship and unemployment. Drought caused crops to fail and dust storms to gather, forcing a mass of people to move to cities in search of necessities of life. So they encountered hardships during 30s. So dust storms is the hardship. So the hardship smearing the sky green with doom. The hardship came and afterwards drenched the air with an amber glow. So the situation is improving and the life is becoming better. So paraphrase, they encountered some difficulties at the beginning of the 30s, but later life became easier. And then we can analyze this part. You can pause the video to read these long sentences, and you can try to use the strategies I just taught. So identify the sentence structure, subject, verb, object, unfold the meaning of the metaphor, simile, and analyze the other literary devices, and analyze the tone. So there's an accident. Smile faintly and raised. Use accident to emphasize they were content about their life. And fields are maize and bread lines in the city. Contrast harvest and later starving. Rent house versus homecoming. Contrast rent house with homecoming. They had their own home and other facilities after the war. And homecoming, homecoming, homecoming. Use repetition to emphasize the pressures of coming home and relief after the war. And there's a simile. We have to unfold the meaning of the simile. So, new piano, new season. Green lawns, new piano with its mahogany gleam like pond ice at dawn, and new season symbolized for new life. And finally, paraphrase, they were happy about the life which they could listen to music and had enough food. But soon the hard time came. They were starving and the war came. They used to be homeless but had their own home again. They felt so precious of homecoming. New life was beginning. Neighborhood was disappearing, but new life was beginning unnoticed. So there's a simile. Women and men lining Main Street like mannequins. And there's a multiple choice question after this simile. So let's look at this. Which characteristics of the people is implied by lining Main Street like mannequins? So mannequins means an artist, tailors, or dressmakers lay figure. One implied to model clothing. So let's check the meaning of each word in the choices. So spiritless means lacking animation, cheerfulness, or courage. Yeah, that's correct. And thoughtless. A lay figure cannot be inconsiderate nor careless. So this is incorrect. Make sure to check the English meaning of each word. Some ESL students may check the new word's meaning in their own language, but there might be some translation mistakes in your own language. So make sure you have to check the exact meaning in English. And for the other two choices, we have no clues in the poem to tell that mannequins are well dressed or well behaved. So the answer is A. Step 3. Identify the theme. Pay special attention on main conflict, and themes should be included in the literature analysis. So the main conflict in this poem is the desire and appreciation of good times with the changing environment. It's pretty obvious. And we can see from the last part of the poem, from their action, he lifted her hands as if it were the last unbroken leaf, and he would hold her hand in his hand for a long time, and they would look far up into the music of their lives. In the beginning of this video, I already say this means their love is as strong as ever. So we combine this part of theme with the conflict. So the theme is, despite all the bad that had happened to them, the good memories are more important, and the love between them is as strong as ever. And you should include this theme into your literature analysis. Comment below if you have any questions or what you want me to include in my next video. Thumb up if you like this video. Subscribe the channel if you want to know more provincial exam tips. And good luck!